All right, we are back again. The study prep guy is live again. We will be starting back the social studies review on the syllabus. And I just received the document. I just received a new document um, on the social studies syllabus and the alterations they did made. I just received it, so that is good news. I did receive the document now. So we will be looking through the updated syllabus on the CSEC. I did obtain it now. I finally found it. So guys, just give me a minute. But the good news is that we actually found the updated syllabus. So we will be looking at that for now. Updated syllabus. We'll not be looking at the old syllabus. So we will be looking at the new topics that were compiled for the CSEC syllabus. So we will get right at that. In the last, I did had a lot of demand because I actually made a video on this before, and a lot of persons were asking me why I had a background in the last time I made a video on this one here. Hopefully that is not a big problem right now or anything like that. Everything is already to the stream, so we're not lagging. So we are starting back again. Let me wait for the chat to catch itself. We are continuing the new topics for the social studies syllabus. We're just reviewing. After this one, we will stop at 8:40 and we will go again. But for now, I have found the document for the new syllabus that was introduced to social studies, and we. All right. Without further ado, let's actually start this marathon and this document now. So first of all, let's look at a family budget. A family budget is a financial plan that outlines the incomes and expenses of a household over a specific period, typically monthly or annually. It helps family allocate funds for essential needs such as food, housing, utilities, education, healthcare savings, and leisure activities. So a family budget is what we utilize in order to spend money efficiently and effectively. There's a number of reasons why a family budget is important. Ensures financial stability, encourages savings, prevents prioritizes needs over wants, and reduces stress. Stress level. Everyone out there now tuning in, we are looking at the new topic that were introduced. I'm just doing this here because we don't know what will come tomorrow. So we have to expect the unexpected. So let's start back with the documents. So family budget. So what are some ways in which a family budget can, or ways in which a family can budget? Track income and expenses, look at the amount of money coming in, look at the amount of money going out, look at our expenses, look at our income. Usually, we could, in the terms of income, and record daily, weekly, or monthly expenses, understand spending habits. Look at your spending habits. Are you overspending? Are you just going into a lot of expenses? Take a general. Guys, give me a minute, give me a minute, everyone. Give me a minute, everyone. Give me a minute, give me a minute. I did promise you guys that I would do a Zoom class, and you wait. Give me a second, guys. If anyone is interested, I could do it right now. If anyone is interested, just type in the chat. I will see your chat, and I will send a link. If anyone just says anything, I will send a link. Because we have a guest speaker joining us tonight who will be involved in the streaming tonight. And guys, please subscribe. This was a lot of effort. I did a lot of streaming and a lot of work, honestly, on a lot of subject areas. But anyways, let's stop yapping and let's start again. If the OA May paper one release, yes, it did release, but I haven't had the time to do it yet. I did it, yes, but I haven't had the time to make a video on it yet. So yes, it was released. It was released. Another YouTuber did it, and I think he emailed me a document. So yes, the OA documents were released. so we could get out the way. The OA documents were released. The answers were released too, and um, when I have time, I will release the. But for now, we're looking at social studies because social studies is tomorrow, and we have to be prepared for the unexpected. And there is something on this document that social studies did add, and I did talk about it in my last live stream, and we will look. So, anyways, let's actually look into this. Ways in which a family can budget, create a spend your money for the week, set financial goals, set a savings account. There is some account wherein you put money and you could only take it out at the end of like a month, a year, or something like that. That's one way of set financial goals. That's one way of achieving those goals. There is something called the 50-30-20 rule, which means allotting 50% income to needs, 30% to wants, and 20% to savings and debt repayment. I did take a while to make this video because I had to type out everything, and it took a little while because I was not finding it on the syllabus. I was not finding this information on the syllabus. So you guys won't find this information on the syllabus. It was actually compiled. I compiled it because I look at all the changes and I compile it. So you guys don't have for tomorrow. So you guys, if you want to do it, rewatch the video again, and you can. We will look at. We will we could do some research. All right, good. So I will be ending this stream a bit early because I have to invite another guest speaker, and we'll be doing Zoom classes tonight until 10 o'clock. Until 10 o'clock. So guys, I'm really putting a lot of effort. Please subscribe. It's a lot of effort to do this thing. So on the term of how to actually set up ways in which a family can budget is reduce unnecessary spending. Usually we spend excessively on wants. It should be advisable to actually use some of that income. Oh, RG. Um, oh, you want a bit catch up? All right, good. I understand you. So we are on. So just to inform, you could watch back the video. No, we didn't really miss anything really that vital. We were just talking about the family budget and ways in which a family could recent. This is the recent additions to the syllabus. I had to make a on my own because I CSEC did not update the syllabus for the LGBTQ plus being added. They did not update it. So I had to implement on my own. So you will not find this on the syllabus. Family budgeting. So use of budgeting tools. Utilize apps or spreadsheets to track expenses. Basically, your accounting, right? And plan for emergencies. So one way of actually effectively doing a bet aside a portion of income for unexpected expenses such as medical bills or car repairs. Because we have to, if you're in a family or you're a parent, you have to be prepared for externalities that may come unexpectedly. And it involve all family members. Make sure everyone is involved, and if possible, make sure that your family members are contributing to the budget. Review and adjust regularly. If you see you're having bad spending habits, just cut it out and try to improve yourself in that area. Use cash for discretionary spending to avoid overspending. Withdraw a fixed amount of cash for non-essential purchases instead of using credit or debit cards. So instead of using like instead of using all your money one time or carrying all of your money on you, just carry a little bit on you. Carry what is needed. So if you make like $1 million, only carry like $100 on you because or $200. Don't carry everything with you because you might fall into the trap of actually overspending, right? Just to avoid overspending. So I did talk on the good qualities of parenting. You could watch back that video, or you could watch back that video. But I want to because I want to stop this and I want to actually start actually going into the past papers because as you guys know, I don't want you to stay up too late. 10, 11, 12 o'clock. It's all in the morning. The social studies paper is all in the morning. So you guys need to be as refreshed, as ready, as prepared as possible. So what I really want to talk about is the effects um of a bad parenting to say, or the effects of a breakdown in effective parenting. So something that I really want to highlight is poor social skills. When you're a bad parent, something that is usually developed is something called anti-socialism, meaning that your children become withdrawn, they don't want to go to school, they have poor grades, they have academical difficulties, they skip class, and all of these things start happening because parenting is the foundation of a good child. Because if you have good parents, most likely your child will be good. And if parenting is bad, it will have a drastic breakdown in a child's social skills, in a child's academical skills, even in a child's emotional skills. So it's important. There's some of the consequences of poor parenting. So I'm trying to move a bit fast. So I do I'm and if I'm moving too fast, guys, you could tell me that so I could miss anything. Am I a teacher or a student? Um, guys, I'm currently attending CAPE, the Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examinations, and I usually just make videos like this to educate myself, and educate other people. I did write CSEC before, so I'm actually pushing that out so you guys could know. I'm actually a CAPE student. Um, yes, I'm a sixth farmer, but I usually like to teach CSEC students. I will become an official teacher. I will become an official teacher within a month. But I am a CAPE student. Let's continue the document. So, importance and conservation of cultural heritage. So, when we think of heritage, heritage is very important. Heritage teaches us where we came from, and it gives us an identity and it gives us a history. And something with some regional integration, and I will look into that very much. I have a whole, but I don't believe I have enough time to actually complete the whole thing because I'm still 8:30, and we'll take a close here, and then we'll actually start past papers. We'll work 2025, and we'll work 2024, and then we'll take a close for the night, and you guys could call it a night if you want. You could probably go and study more if you want. It's an option. So something of cultural heritage and why heritage is important, because look at this: tourism. Tourism really supplies 30% of the national income in Caribbean countries. 30 to 40% of income comes from tourism. And part of that tourism, or part of why people want to visit Caribbean economies, is because of heritage, because of a rich culture, a rich diversity, and a rich uniqueness. Because look at this, like for example, with the reggae, we have different reggae musics. We have reggae, we have soca, we have dancehall, we have these unique customs and artifacts, monuments, traditions that are all that what brings us together. The things that actually separates us is the things that actually bring us together. Even though we might be different in terms of music, like for example, dance hall, we have reggae. Those same things are the things that brings us together. So cultural heritage promotes tourism and economical growth. The money that is generated from is actually used to develop infrastructure, to develop the roads, to develop educational institutions, create employment and stuff like that. And supports education and knowledge transfer as a medium of education. Education really functions to teach children of what is going on in or what was our cultural heritage. As I said before in our last live stream, I did see a CSEC question that was in relation. I think it was actually a diagram. No, it said something in relation to the one thing that is similar between all Caribbean countries is that in some sense we were once ruled by a monarchy or a king or a queen, or at least from the English people standards, we were once ruled by them, right? So that's something that we could actually look at. And the point that I was really trying to highlight, social cohesion. I was trying to highlight this when I said the thing that divides us is the things that brings us together. Because we have shared traditions, we have similar roots. Even though they are different, they are similar. Fostering unity and cooperation. Festivals, rituals, and storytelling reinforce cultural bonds, and it creates a sense of belonging and identity in society. So it makes us feel not only, because even though we are different, that same difference is what makes us unique, is what makes us special in our own unique way. So yes, that's it. Verse 5. Where are we now? conservation. I'll just brush through this. Legal protection and policies, education and awareness programs. We usually create awareness programs through education, museums, and these programs in order to basically preserve it for future generation. Restoration and preservation techniques. This means in the case of ancient, in the case of relics, in the case of paintings and artifacts, we try to preserve it, usually in a museum. And then we have sustainable tourism practices. We need, usually this is in the case of preserving historical sites and maintaining and protecting overuse or damage. So we have number 5, community involvement and cultural revival. At least in where I'm living, we have something called the indigenous season. The indigenous season, at least where I'm living, is a time of the month, usually through a holiday, a time of the month whereby we would usually celebrate our heritage. We usually celebrate for 3 days, 4 days, and that's what community involvement means. It means communities around the country coming together and creating a unified holiday to actually celebrate our cultural heritage in order to make sure that there's cultural revival. All right, so let me just keep this here. I want to show you guys something very interesting that I saw in the 25 May, June. I didn't release it. I haven't released a document on it yet, but it was in relation to the world map. Let me see if I could find it. No, I don't have it here. But for you guys who have wrote the May, June, you would have seen that they did brought an actual world map, and they did circle and they put A. I will do a video on that later, but I don't really have access to the May June 2025 paper 2 yet. I don't have access to it. So let us keep on working. We warrant good governance. So what is good governance? The definition here: good governance refers to effective, transparent, accountable, and inclusive management of a country, organization, or institution. And when I'm reading this, it's like very funny because if you look at almost every economy in the world, I wouldn't say every economy is perfect, but usually we won't find good governance around the world, like generally. There are some countries, yes, that would be exceptionally and they would have good governance. But if you were to be very honest with yourselves, it's not usually always the case. There's usually bad governance, right? In some economies, bad governance. Sometimes the people in authority is usually use that power for their own devices, for their own reasoning, and for just generally bad purposes. So we could think about it like that. But good governance is just the exact opposite of that. Transparency, it's effective, it fulfills its promises. There is some of the things of a good, or there's some of the qualities of a good governance. Making sure that you serve the interests of the people, promoting stability, development, and fairness, not treating one group more better than the other, which is most likely the case. Because I'll be honest, I don't want to be canceled. I don't want to be somebody pelt me down with a stone. But in most, at least, they had a statement. I like this statement very much. They said absolute authority creates absolute corruption. I think this was the story. I can't remember exactly, but this statement really gets to that. When too much power corrupts people, and a lot of economies and their structural dynamics, and they are good to an extent, but to another extent, the bad mainly outweighs the good. I don't want to sound very biased in this area. I don't want to sound very biased. I don't want me to offend anybody out there. So, anyways, now let's look at the opposite of what I was talking with bad governance. So, some of the good qualities of good governance is transparency, the ability to basically basically say your policies publicly. Don't do them privately. One reason why government's supposed to be transparent is to reduce corruption and build trust between people, and accountability. Leaders and institutions are responsible for their action and must justify their decisions. And rule of law. There is something called a constitutional law, right? And a constitutional law are laws that were written even before governance existed. So the current government must adhere to the constitutional law, regardless of how they feel. It's a law basically above laws. Laws are applied equally to all individuals, regardless of status or position, protect human rights, promotes justice, and prevents abuse of power. I have participation and inclusiveness. But something else that I would like to add is in the case of a planned economy. So we have something called a planned economy. And a lot of people don't know. I'm just trying to highlight this because I want to create a very clear picture. So rule of law is only specific to something called democratic countries. Democratic countries are countries where the people's voices are heard. A planned economy is the exact opposite of a democratic country. So I'll ask you to chat the question. Um, so if you look at it, if a planned economy is about listening to the voices of people, what is a demo? What sorry for that democratic? If a democratic country is one that listens to the voices of people, what do you guys think is a planned economy, which is the exact opposite of a democratic economy? What y'all guys thinking? I'll just open it up. It's open for me. You guys could answer. So if one is listening to people, and what the other one is though? We are thinking planned economy. What's a planned economy? All right, guys. So basically, when we think of planned economies, we think of basically the worst type of economies. It might sound like this, right? Yes, they don't listen. Correct, correct, correct. All right, we really appreciate your interactions in the stream. Big shout out to you. So when we think of a planned economy, they don't listen to the voices of people. They just ignore them. And everything in a planned economy is determined by the government. And the rule of law don't really apply to them at all. We call those dictatorships. So another term for planned economy, I like to call them dictators. We call them dictators because they control everything in the economy, literally everything. And you can't even vote them out because they control everything. So participation and inclusiveness, citizens have the right to be involved in the decision-making process. And this, as I said before, is only inclusive of democratic countries, right? In a planned economy, the citizens are not involved in the decision-making process. And it also encourages diversity and representation of different groups, including marginalized communities. And when I mean marginalized, I mean specific communities, like different types of communities. We have the Indian community, we have the term marginalized, we mean specific or specified. Resources are distributed fairly, reducing social and economical inequalities, responsiveness, governments and institutions respond promptly to the needs and concerns of people. Um, so now let's look at the importance of good governance. Guys, give me a second, let me just take water. My throat is just getting dry. So now let's look at the importance of good governance. Why do we need good governance? So first of all, we need good governance to promote economical development. What do I mean by economical? Economical means a lot of things, but mainly it means the development of the whole country as a whole. It means setting fair business, effective use of resources, not underutilizing our resources or utilizing them in a very instantical manner. So when you utilize the term economic, we refer to collective development of the whole economy. And it strengthens democracy by ensuring that governments are accountable and citizens' voices are heard. So a democratic country, as I said before, I like to really pelt this point really true because a democratic country or or democracy is a very vital part of social studies. They like to use democratic, and I really want you guys to understand what a democracy is. A democracy is an economy whereby the voices of people are heard, right? So the more democratic a country is, the more the voices of people are heard. Reduces corruption by enforcing ethical behavior and transparency in decision making. And usually in democratic country, there is usually free speech. So people like me could probably go on social media and probably cuss out the government and say, "Y'all doing a set of madness." So it reduces corruption. But like in my case, if the government was probably doing like good work, they were doing good stuff, I would have said, yes, 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 they're doing good things. But if they're doing bad things, I could go on the internet and say they're doing bad things and I won't be shot in the head. Right? So that's what reduce corruption by enforcing ethical behavior. Because if I'm seeing my government is being transparent and the decision making process are for my benefit, I will not shout them out. I will not wrong. So, enhances social justice by protecting human rights and ensuring equal opportunities for all. And as I said before, back in the olden days or back in the 1900s, the rights of women or education was or probably in the 1800s, I don't know, probably very late back. Education seemed as something that a woman should not possess, at least back then, the 1800s. But presently, we have education. Education is accessible to women, and it's such a blessing, and it's such a gift to say, to actually be in a time whereby women are actually at least around the same level as men, at least in the society that we live in today. We call that marginalization, which is the decentralization of a man from a one-centered position to a decentralized position, meaning that a man was once the big guy, the sole provider, the person or the provider of the household. But now a woman could actually be actually a provider of a household also. So that role is not only unitary to the man exclusive alone now. So it's through education that really changed society as it is. It really did change. It really did break the foundation of society. So um I did believe I could actually. So I will go down to the last topic, and this is a new topic that CSEC did add. I will go down to it, and this is the most interesting part of the video. This is the most interesting part of the video, and this is what the new stuff, right? This is the new stuff. Um, so the thing that I really want to talk about a lot is the LGBTQ. This is the new topic that was added to the syllabus. And I didn't see it in the May, June, the LGBTQ, right? So the LGBTQ is the new topic. I will talk about this and I will close out the stream, right? I will close up the stream. So I will be going again. I will be inviting a couple of some people I highly respect, some teachers and stuff like that I know who will be willing to actually join with us tonight in the next live stream. We'll be going for at least around 2 hours. 2 hours. We're going until 10, so I'm starting 8:30 again, and we're going for at least 3 hours reviewing past papers, and we'll be working it together, right? So this is a new topic that I really want to highlight, which is the LGBTQ, right? So the LGBT community refers to individuals who identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and others, including intersex, asexual, and non-binary individual. This community represents diverse sexual orientations and gender identities. Chuck, what y'all thinking about this? I don't like this topic at all. I don't like this topic at all. I don't like this topic at all. I don't like it. I don't like how we just add the LGBTQ to the actual syllabus. I don't like it. I don't like it, people. What yeah, guys think about the LGBTQ being added? The LGBTQ rights activism, wherever. What yeah, guys thinking about that? I could type in the chat. So, anyways, let me just explain this and we'll close out the stream. So the only thing that you need to actually remember, because I did said that you don't really need to remember a lot. The only thing that you need to know about the LGBTQ plus is the acronyms such as lesbian, a woman who is attracted to another woman, gay, a person, usually a man who's attracted to people of the same gender, bisexual, a person attracted to both men and women, transgender, a person whose gender identity differs from the sex assigned at birth, queer, a broad term for people who do not conform to traditional gender roles or sexual orientation. This means that they could probably refer themselves to a cat. They could probably say I'm a furry. That's people like that. Plus indicates other identities such as intersex, characteristics, asexual, experiences little or no sexual attraction, meaning that they are non-sexual. And non-binary does not fit within the traditional male-female categories, meaning that they do not conform to either gender stereotypes. So let's look at the LGBTQ plus rights and social issues, human rights. The LGBTQ plus individuals have the right to equality, freedom from discrimination, protection. So at least for the moment, I don't even know because probably legal laws change. For the moment, they are really protected from discrimination. And in some cases, you could even be fined, depending on the country you are in. Legal recognition, some countries recognize same-sex marriage, gender identity changes, and anti-discrimination laws. But it was changed recently because of the old Pope died. Yeah, we started 8:30. So so as you guys know, recently the Pope died, and He said at least that pope, the pope that recently died, he actually permitted same sex, but the I don't know if they will bring it in CSEC because they might probably bring it. I don't know what CSEC will bring. The Pope currently bans same-sex marriage. He banned it. He banned it, and I will agree with him because I don't see at least from my perspective, I don't see the point in same-sex marriage. So he did ban it. He banned same-sex marriage. So social challenges, LGBTQ plus people often face discrimination, stigma, and violence due to their identity. I believe the reason for that is obvious. Traditional men and traditional women might say, "What the hell are you doing?" That's the honest response from a traditional man. Acceptance and inclusion. Many movements and organizations advocate for equal rights, mental health support, and social inclusion for LGBTQ plus individuals. And then we have the final topic, which is LGBTQ plus in the Caribbean. And we'll close up with the last topic. Yeah, yeah. The LGBTQ plus community in the Caribbean faces legal and social challenges due to traditional beliefs and laws in some countries. I believe it's in, I can't remember the exact country, but it does have a country in the Caribbean that if you are found with, or if you're involved in same-sex relations, I think you will either be martyred, which is killed, or put in prison. And some Caribbean nations have discriminated same-sex relationship, while others still have strict laws. And that same thing. I can't remember the exact country, so I couldn't really quote it. Advocacy groups work towards greater acceptance and equality, meaning that certain minority groups or certain minority organizations usually work for the promotion of LGBTQ plus in the Caribbean. So importance of inclusion meaning that we include everybody, regardless of their beliefs, regardless of their personal identity, regardless of their religion. So the importance of inclusion, it promotes human rights and equality, reduces discrimination and violence, encourages respect and understanding in society. So yes, people, yes, that is all the new changes to the CSEC syllabus. I hope that was educational. If you have missed anything, you could watch the last video if you want. We will be starting again 8:30. So drink your waters, rest, or just get your minds ready. So guys, all the best. Subscribe. See you guys out on the next video. Later, everyone.